Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I welcome you for joining this very evening broadcast. Wherever you are connecting from, please like and share. Like and share to other platforms. Like and share to family and friends. Share to everyone that you can reach. Let us preach the gospel. The message of Biafra. We have to preach it. This very evening. I appreciate every one of you that is connecting wherever you are connecting from. Like and share. Share the program to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is very close to you. Remember, we must preach this gospel and we must get to everybody today. Thank you for joining. Wherever you are joining us from, I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of this very program. Like and share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. Everyone that you can be able to reach, share to them. Remember, what we do in this platform is to speak about Biafran restoration. In this platform, we say things the way they are. We don't get involved in political correctness. So the least you can do is to share so that others can join us and pass this message across to those who need to hear us. It is very important that we preach this message and get to everyone that is supposed to hear it. They are trying to stop us, but we will not agree. No matter how they try to stop us, we will not agree. That is why I'm here. So Biafrans, wherever you are, as you join, please like and share. Like and share and make sure that other people join us on this amazing program. A lot is happening in the restoration of Biafra. So many things are happening. A lot of things that you cannot deny. The more you start denying the reality of the day, the more it continues to stare you at your feet. And the reality of today is Biafra is coming. When we say Biafra is coming, it's not just a wishful thinking. It is not just a dream. Today it is a reality. A reality that no one can be able to deny. A reality that nobody can be able to deny. It doesn't matter whom you are. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. It doesn't matter where you lie your hope or your faith. One fact remains that Biafra is coming. And when we say it with confidence, with facts that we are seeing. There are a lot of facts that is pointing to that direction. One of those facts are the preparations we are seeing on the ground today. I am talking about the self-referendum of the Biafran people. Turnout on the self-referendum is massive. When I say massive, I mean massive. If you are one of those that has not been paying attention, please begin to pay close attention. Most importantly, if you are a Biafran and you are ignoring the fact that the time for you to go home has come, I'm sorry. I can't help you. But whatever you think cannot change the fact. Instead, it will bring the truth closer. So I urge every one of you, wherever you are and you are watching this program, if you have not yet participated on this very self-referendum, if you have not convinced anybody, if your members of your family have not yet voted, please convince them and make sure they vote. If there is somebody around you that is having challenges on the vote, it is being made easier today. People in Biafra land can vote with the card manually and be transmitted. You can equally vote through a phone call. There are the numbers that are provided. All you have to do is to call the number. When you call the number, you will be responded to, and then you can be able to cast your vote. These are the things that you and I need to do. There are things you pray for. These are areas we have to participate practically. It doesn't need prayers. If anybody tells you to pray for this, no, it's not prayer. Practically, you need to participate. Participate by casting your vote and helping those around you to cast their vote. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, have stepped up the game. As we speak, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile is taking the war to the Nigerian government. Biafran government is taking the war to Nigerian government. Today, a suit has been made. The Biafra government in exile under our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, have sued the federal government of Nigeria under Tinubu in a court. And there will be a press statement on that today. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Nigeria, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is going to issue a press statement on that today, 7 p.m. Biafran time. So wherever you are, don't miss that press statement. Don't miss it. The Prime Minister is going to address the press, 7 p.m. Biafran time. Do not miss it. Whatever you are doing, please put your alarm. If you are on the media, national media, international media, whichever one you are part of, do not miss it. It is going to be a bombshell as usual. You know, our Prime Minister doesn't just speak. Whenever he speaks with points. Whenever he speaks, he must have seen something. Whenever he speaks, you should know that something is actually going on. So wherever you are today as a Biafran, I want you to know that today it is going to be another massive outing. We are all required to join. The program is going to hold on Zoom, and it will be streamed live in all the Biafran platforms. All the Biafra Republic of Nigeria platform, you are going to find it there. If you are on the Twitter of our Prime Minister, you will find it there too. Very, very important. So I urge every one of you not to miss it. Every one of us must participate. Get the information firsthand, and I bet you will never remain the same. They are trying as much as they can to suppress the restoration of Biafra. At the same time, they have finally understood that there is no going back. That is why today, some of them who thought that Biafra is not going to come are now speaking. One of the voices you heard was Wolo Soyinka. He said that he is surprised that it took so long for Biafrans to react. That he's surprised that it took so long. His surprise is not that it is happening, because he knew that it was going to happen. But his surprise is that he didn't know that it's going to take that long. But unfortunately, it took so long before it began to happen. And now that it has happened, there is no going back. Many of them are adding their voices. Today, the zoo is understanding the language. You know, the Biafrans know the language that the zoo understands. There is one particular language that they understand. You don't beg them, you make things happen. And today the Biafran people are making things happen. And as they are making things happen, all you have to expect going forward is success. Success in all aspects of life. Wherever you are today, if you have not started participating in doing something to see that Biafra becomes a reality and you are a Biafra, I am sorry for you. Remember, when I'm talking about Biafra, I'm talking about the old southeastern region, which is today the present south-south, southeast, lower Benue, and lower Kogi. If you are from this area and your mother or grandmother is tying 2 pieces of wrapper, you are a Biafran. You can choose to give yourself any nickname. You can call yourself anything you wish to. But I bet you it does not change anything. The truth remains that you are a Biafran. Chukwu Okike Abiama recognize you as a Biafran. The gods of the land regards you a Biafran. And we also know that you are a Biafran. So it does not matter the nickname you give to yourself. Feel free, enjoy your nickname. Those of you who are answering South, answering Niger Delta, answering whatever, it is okay. We don't have any problem with the name you answer. Every one of us had a nickname at one time or the other, but the nickname doesn't mean that we threw away original name. Our parents still gave us a name which we adore. And even when we forget, they remind us. And that is what we are doing. We will continue to remind you, even in your pretense and forgetfulness. When you pretend not to know, we will remind you that you are a Biafran. And the only place your faith, hope, and strength lies is in recognizing whom you are. You must recognize whom you are. You must take up your position. Be whom you are supposed to be. Don't allow anybody to blackmail you. Do not allow anybody to talk you down. Do not allow anyone to deceive you. But most importantly, if you claim you have been deceived, I laugh. Because in this era, in this new dimension, under the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, deception cannot fly. And nobody can claim that he or she was deceived. Because in this era, every single thing that is being done is done in the open. Every secret has been revealed. Every lies have been brought to the public. There is nothing that is happening today that is hidden. Every single thing that is happening today. In the restoration of Biafra today, the beauty of it that gives me joy is that everything is done legal. We are not following any illegal procedure. That is why the restoration is something that no man can stop. We are following the legal procedure. In that legal procedure, every step that needs to be followed is being followed. In that legal procedure, everything that we need to do is being done. Our prime is standing on that legality. That is why he can boldly defend Biafra any place he goes. That is why he can boldly talk about the liberation. He's engaging people, right, left, and center. He's engaging with people that matters. A lot of countries are showing interest on Biafra. For those of you who think that the Biafra of today is like the Biafra of yesterday, it is not. Biafra is following every legal process. And because the legal process is being followed, success is definitely going to come. In the three arms or three ways the freedom of Biafra is being pursued, they are all legal. Number one, the political means to restore Biafra. It is very legal and it gives legitimacy to Biafra. It gives the mandate to the Prime Minister and the Biafra Minister to carry on and do whatever they want to do on behalf of the Biafran people. That is why the self-referendum is going on, which is a very strong political means of restoring Biafra. In that self-referendum, the voice of Biafran people is very, very loud. All you need to do is to go and look up the videos that are coming from Biafra land on the restoration of Biafra. Go and look up the response that is coming. There are video evidence, picture evidence, audio evidence that will tell you what is going on in Biafra land. And as we speak, more things are going to happen. Do not get distracted or discouraged because you haven't seen nothing yet. We have finally defeated the enemies. They came with their propaganda and they thought it's going to work. Even up to today, they are still working with their propaganda. One of the propagandas they are pushing now is a failed one. You know, initially when they claim that the IPOB is operating unknown gunmen, they preached unknown gunmen and preached until they got tired. While we have evidence to show that most of the unknown gunmen they have talked about has always been Nigerian government. There was a time the only thing they know is that every sit at home they will come out to enforce it. They continue to enforce it at home in order to tarnish the image of the Biafra government. And we said openly that sit at home is not being enforced. People are engaging in sit at home on their own. We continue to make that statement until it began to sink. And the Biafrans began to understand that truly, sit at home has never been enforced. It has always been the people responding and doing what they are supposed to do. but they couldn't have it. Most of the unknown gunmen that were caught confessed of being part of the DSS. Some of them were Fulanis, confirmed, and some who were being paid by the government. They couldn't succeed in that. They went ahead to take over the ESN. Some of them that was sold to them by the IPOB Nigeria. They used it to attack the main ones, try to destabilize the Biafrans, but they could not succeed. The more they tried to destabilize, the more they failed. When they found out that they could not succeed in what they were doing, what did they do? They changed their propaganda. They begin to reveal all their cell camps where they were doing their evil, and they claim that those are the cell camps of IPOB. Every one of us know that when Mazen Nandekano formed the ESN, he said it is a security outfit, just like they have in the north and the southwest. They have the Amoteku, and they have the Hizbah in the north. In the southeast, you have the ESN. But they push all these lies up to the extent that at a time, remember, maybe you have forgotten, a time the governor of Imo State, this idiot in Imo State today, remember when they invaded a prison yard? When they invaded a prison and released people, and they were accusing IPOB ESN. They made so many attacks. They accused IPOB ESN, and the governor came out and said that these people are not members of ESN. That in fact, so many of them that came to the operation don't even speak Igbo. The governor said it. It's still on video today. If you want to see the video, you can see the video. But yet, they continue to push that lie of unknown gunmen. When we discover they have infiltrated the ESN, the Prime Minister today, Master Simon Ekpa, rescued the ESN from the hand of these idiots. After rescuing the ESN, he transformed them to an army. That is after establishing the Biafran government. They were transformed to be the army of Biafra. Today, that army is strong. Today, that army has a weight. Today, that army is making a difference. Today, that army cannot be pushed behind. And I bet you, our Prime Minister never hide any operation that the army goes. He never denies them. Whatever operation that the army carries out, the Prime Minister comes out and says, yes, the Liberation Army has done this, and gives reasons why they are doing it. And remember, the primary objective of a government is to protect the life and property of its people, which is exactly what the Liberation Army has been doing from day one. And whenever they take such actions to neutralize the terrorists and the enemies of Biafra, people who have come to take the life of the innocent, whenever they take them out, our Prime Minister acknowledges them. He doesn't shy away, and he says, in writing and in videos, these are the Liberation Army. All this while we have never had the Nigerian government coming out to call on the Liberation Army or call them out on what they are doing. But they prefer to choose that name that suits them. They prefer to continue to speak about their own ESN that they formed. Recently, the Chief of Army Staff was given a statement talking about the insecurity in the Southeast. He still continued to mention the ESN that never existed. They still continue to show the same video of years ago when they were operating that year, the unknown gunmen, which belonged to the DSS. People that Nigeria employed to destabilize Biafra land. Today they are still showing the same video. Even when we have spoken in the open and told them that what we have today is the Liberation Army, and the Liberation Army of Biafra is there to defend Biafra land to the last. But yet, ask yourself, Why is it that they have failed and refused to recognize the Liberation Army? Why have they chosen to continue to speak about the ESN that they have formed themselves? Even when we have anything called ESN anymore. That what the Biafran people have today is the Liberation Army. And we do not hesitate to acknowledge the presence and the work of the Liberation Army. We have them on video. Organized criminals, their own terrorists, and they try to attach it to the government in exile. The whole world is watching and observing. Just like Martin said, we are not cowards, and we are not afraid in the face of our enemies. It doesn't matter who they are, where they are coming from. We always stand our ground to defend ourselves. We always stand our ground to be who we are supposed to be. We always stand our ground to mount the defense of our own land. And no matter what the people say, no matter what the enemies are saying, we cannot be deterred. Every one of us saw the supreme leader of IPOB, the fearless man. Just like he said that we are not afraid in the presence of enemies. You saw him display it. Mazen Nanikano told you that he would tell you the truth, even if it will cost him his. If you are the one holding his life, and because of that you want him to lie and not tell the truth, no, he will not. He's going to tell you the truth. And you saw him speaking boldly in the court, calling the Nigerian government what they are, terrorists. According to their own law, their law says that if they continue to try Mazen and they can, after they have violated their own law, a law which they signed, a treaty which they signed, and the law said that once the federal government signed any treaty, it becomes a law in the country. I didn't say it, their own law says that. But yet, because we are dealing with a lawless country, with lawless people, people who don't have conscience, you see that they don't obey their own laws. And yet, they expect us to pretend that all is well. It does not matter what any one of them says. It doesn't matter. We know whom we are. And we can't be scared by their propaganda and blackmail. We cannot chicken out because of their threat. Just as Mazen Nanikano said, if the truth will cost our life, so be it. We are ready to give it up. We are fearless in the presence of our enemy. And we will have to continue to show that fearless attitude. It does not matter where the enemy is coming from. It doesn't matter what they are saying. It does not matter what they are doing. We will continue to overcome. We will continue to win. Because the battle is not a small battle. It's a heavy, heavy battle. But because we are standing on that which is right, why must I be afraid? After all, for those who are Christians, it is written in the books that the kingdom of God suffered violence, and only the violent people take it by force. You have cried, you have pleaded, you have waited and begged. It never worked out. Do we have to continue to cry and beg? Of course, no. It is time for us to stand up and do what we have to do. That's exactly what we are doing today. We are in the era of the restoration of Biafra, and Biafra must be restored. It does not matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. You can continue to lie. You can continue to pretend. You can continue to support evil. It cannot change the fact that the Biafran people have made up their mind that they're going to go. And we are not seeking permission from anybody. because it is the appointed time. We have waited for this moment for a very long time. Just like Wole Soyinka said he is surprised that Biafra has not picked up earlier than this. But I bet you, appointed time. Appointed time. God's own Kairos time. When that time is right, as it is now, there is nothing any man can do. Because the time is right. There's nothing anybody can do. No propaganda, no blackmail can stop us. No matter what you do or what you think, it cannot change anything. It is always good to walk according to the time of Chukwu Okike Abiam. And that is why we are succeeding. Because we are working according to timing. Because we are working according to timing, all things are going to work for our own good. No matter how bad it is, we are going to win. Success will definitely come. Success will definitely come. Every one of us that is out there, we have the capacity to make our nation what we want it to be. Biafra have the capacity to be the strongest nation of the world. Biafra have the capacity to build a city greater than Dubai. We have the brain. And when we are talking about having the capacity, it's not just on the mineral resources buried on the ground. I'm talking about intelligence, what we have upstairs. Biafrans, what the Biafran people have upstairs is what I'm talking about. We are blessed. Very, very blessed. We have the wisdom. Today, it is very difficult to see a country of the world where you will not see a Biafran doing well. In every country of the world. I'm talking about the developed countries. Go to the United States. You will see Biafrans who are expert on different levels. Today, the man that built the fastest computer in the world is a Biafran and a child soldier during the Civil War. Yema Wale. He has talked about his Biafra experience. It was after the Civil War that he found himself in the United States. And today, he was able to build the fastest computer in the world. A Biafran. Not only him, we have a lot of scientists, Biafrans. Some you don't know them. Some you know. You go to the UK, we have a lot of professionals. In every European country, you hardly go there and you don't see a Biafran who is active, even in their politics, making the system in the Western world to work. How do you think that when it comes to our own, we cannot do it? We can do even better. The only thing that is holding us down is the contraption called Nigeria. And if we don't break loose from this captivity, we are doomed. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiam that will have the opportunity to break through. The opportunity is here for us to break free from the clutches of the devil, from the clutches of the demonic people, people who do not want to improve themselves and they don't want others to improve. That is how bad it is. These people do not want to develop themselves and they don't want others to develop. If you do not want to develop yourself, why don't you allow others to develop? Allow people to develop. But what do? They want to drag everybody to their level. And one of the most annoying systems I see in that zoo is the quota system. With Fulanese and the British. That was where they roped in every other tribe. Everybody from the southern part of Nigeria mainly. They roped in all the educated people and well-equipped people and caged them. The quota system gives opportunity to an idiot who is not ready to develop. to begin to run the affairs of intelligent people. And it has made it in such a way that for you to be part of the Nigerian government, you must be an idiot first. You must throw away your brain and your experience. Everything you have learned, you will throw it to the dustbin before you can be able to participate in Nigerian politics. That is what we see today. Today, you see people, once they join politics, intelligent people, they begin to behave like idiots. Intelligent people, once they join politics, when they open their mouth, you'll be wondering, where is this one coming from? And where has he been? They cannot make any reasonable points. You see people who claim to be professors rigging election for somebody who do not have a certificate. You see people who claim to know all, rigging election for those who know nothing. You see people who has no plan in life, rigging election for people who has planned their ways and built their ways. You see some clowns and idiots who has not made any plan to succeed, running the affairs of the people. This has continued to happen time and time again. And you think it's normal? It is not normal. That is unacceptable. The contraption called Nigeria that we have seen has nothing to offer to any indigenous person. Your education in Nigeria is useless. It doesn't matter the level you attend. We have seen the probing of the universities where they have almost 12 in all the universities in Nigeria, including Nsukka and the Unilag. More than 15 professors. Faith. How can anybody boast of this kind of country, and how will people respect your documents? That is why when you leave the shores of Nigeria and you go to any developed country, you start from the beginning. With your doctorate degree, you end up becoming a maid. With your doctorate degree now, simply because where you come from. And it's not going to stop. It is not going to stop until you build a standard. You can see Nigeria, a country that has been for more than 60 years, all of a sudden, they are just waking up today to talk about data. And they are talking about data because they have seen the Biafran government have stepped up the game. Today, the Biafran government is building the data, collecting the data of Biafran people. Not just collecting data, they are doing it in a very solidified way. In fact, they are using one of the best companies in the world. One of the best companies in the world is the one that's monitoring our data collections. That is how to build a nation. But after 60 years, they just woke up and they are talking about data. What a shame. What a shame. But we all know that even in their pretense, nothing good is going to come out from this entity called Nigeria. Because the people who own the company did not have intention to make it work. From the beginning, from the onset, their plan was never ever to make the zoo a success. Their plan from day one has always been to keep the contraption called Nigeria as a perpetual business empire. And it breaks my heart when I see the Francophone countries in West Africa freeing themselves from the colonial master. Francophone countries like Niger, Burkina Faso, setting themselves free. But in Nigeria, what do you see? Nigeria is deepening themselves more into slavery. Nigeria is still a crying baby. After how many years? And the funniest thing, they come and tell you, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Giant of Africa, my food. That is one of the lies that the British use to deceive them. Because at the initial stage, their plan has always been to create the biggest black African state. Creating the biggest black African state, not because of what is going to come out of it, not because of the good benefits, not because there is any benefit that comes with it, just because they wanted to create a big business empire, which they are going to use to control and remove other African countries. And they succeeded in doing that. They sold out the lie of giant of Africa. Nigeria has never ever been the giant of Africa. Has never. Nigeria has never ever been the giant of Africa. You can't, being giant is not just in population. If you are rating them as giant because of the population, what benefit have they gotten from the population? Even as we speak, they do not have enough army to protect the people. They don't have enough police to police the country. As we speak, with the whole population they have in Nigeria, they are still going for missionaries. They are still going for missionaries. They go to countries to get missionaries. What does that tell you? It tells you that even with their population, they can't do anything for themselves. Being a Nigerian is a curse. Any place you find yourself in the world and you identify yourself as a Nigerian, immediately you are tagged as a suspect. Your opportunities are limited. Automatically, your opportunities are limited once you are identified as a Nigerian. This is not what anybody should wish for. And what happens is that most of the time they begin to blame the citizens. The problem is not the citizens. The leadership of the country, the system that the British have put in place has made it in such a way that the people will not have any other choice than to pursue fraud. That is the system put in place. The British made it in such a way that there's no way you can be in that country and you'll be sane. Something that was done intentionally to keep people down. And today, some people are defending it because it favors them. If Nigeria was not meant to be a destruction, why would somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerge as a president? A man who is not a Nigerian. A man whom nobody knows his source of income. A man whom nobody knows his age. A man that have a lot of fraudulent case in his neck. A man who the same country have used their EFCC to investigate. The same man that investigated him today, he met the NSA, National Security Advisor. The National Security Advisor of Tinubu was the person who investigated him. The video is still there online on YouTube with international media, where he said he has evidence to put Tinubu away for life. Today, Tinubu came on board and made him NSA. It is a shame. Where am I going to start? Which one am I going to say and which one will I going to leave? Everything about the zoo is a failure. Everything about the zoo is a disgrace. Mentioning the name of a name alone is something that nobody will wish for. But today, they force their citizens to embrace fraud. They have forced their citizens to see fraud as the best form of life. They have forced their citizens to begin to think that it is okay to be fraudulent. They have forced their citizens to begin to reason like animals. And I bet you, no matter how you try to change the narratives, it will never. The only thing that is going to save the citizens is to break away. When we are talking about it is to save life. It is to save life. It is for peace. It is to make sure that people have a sane society where they can call their own. The only people that genuinely care about lives in that contraption are the people who are calling for the end to the zoo. The only people who genuinely care about that country are the people who are asking for the end of the country. These are people. Anyone that is talking about a new Nigeria, a better Nigeria, a restructured Nigeria, all these are liars. These are a bunch of liars and deceivers. Whenever you hear somebody proposing anything with Nigeria attached in it, these are a bunch of liars, deceivers. They are only looking for an opportunity for them to steal. What they are missing is that the opportunity for them to steal is not there. So they want to create their own opportunity to steal, just like others have been stealing. That is the only thing they want to do. They are not calling for the freedom of the people. They don't care about the suffering of the people. They don't care about the loss of life. They do not care about whatever you are talking. They only care about themselves. And the only thing they are seeking is opportunity to steal. Once they get that opportunity, they will begin to sing a different song. The criminal you have in Asorok today was once the advocate of the end of Nigeria. The criminal you are seeing today, at one point in a time, said that Nigeria is not viable. And I can bet you that every politician in Nigeria today knows that Nigeria is not sustainable. They know. But what do? They continue to pursue the lies. They continue to pursue their criminality. They continue to support the evil that cannot stand because they are waiting for their own opportunity to steal. Today, the man who called for the end of Nigeria is the president. The man who, at a point in time, campaigned for even ordinary restructuring. A time he was in the front line for restructuring. He made a promise to restructure. But today, the power is in his hands. The only thing he wants today is to enrich himself. The only thing he wants today is to feel like a hero. The only thing he can offer you today is propaganda and blackmail. And nothing. And it will continue to be that way. It does not matter what you say. It does not matter the angle you are coming from. The truth will remain the truth. Biafran people have stood up, and we are taking our destiny into our hand. For a very long time, we have allowed people to decide for us. For a very long time, we allowed people to take decisions for us until we got to where we are today. Today, we are in a time where we cannot allow anybody to take decisions for us. We are now in a time that we have to do what we have to do to win the battle. And there is no going back. No matter the blackmail, the propaganda you hear and you see, do not get deceived. Do not allow anybody to preach nonsense to you. The only person that cares about you in that contraption are the people who are asking for a breakup. The call for breakup is not a wicked call. It's not a call of hate. It is a call of love. It is a call to save life. It is a call to see that everybody is freed. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, we have gone to the end of the road and there's no going back. The mandate is being given today by the Biafrans to the Biafran government. And with that mandate, Biafra will be restored. Do not pay attention to the blackmail of the enemy and their propaganda. The restoration of Biafra is going to happen. Lati, November, December. It is going to be amazing. When the result of this self-referendum is being called, the whole world will be shocked. You know, we'll tell them that 90% of Biafrans, more than 90% of Biafrans are going to go. Some don't believe it. But when the result begins to troop in, let me see who is going to stop us. And December 2nd, the declaration will be made. After the declaration, we are going to defend our land. We will defend our land, the land of our God. No matter the propaganda, we are not stopping. We just started. Wherever you are as a Biafran, prepare yourself for what is coming. Because in this era that we are in, we are going to fight until the last man standing. And the beautiful thing about it is that we are going to win. Losing is not part of it. Don't even consider anything that it calls lose, because it is not going to happen. We are not going to lose. And we are going to go stop. We will not lose and we will not stop. If anybody tells you that we're going to stop, tell them they are dreaming. We are not going to stop. We've just started and we are going to do everything we to make things right. Fellow Biafran that are watching far and wide, wherever you are watching from, I urge you to remain steadfast. We are almost close, very, very close to victory. The only thing you have to do today is to prepare yourself. Today, our Prime Minister is going to have a press conference. 7 p.m. Biafran time. Do not miss it. Don't miss that press conference. It is a very important one. And very great point is going to be made. Very great point is going to be made. For those who are having doubt, just pay attention and listen. The haters of Master Simon Ekpa, I'm sorry for you. Because the more you continue to show your wickedness and hatred, that's the more you give him reason to succeed. The more you show your hatred, the more you give him reason to fight on. And I tell you, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, freedom is going to come. Some of you don't know that your hatred is one of the fuel that keeps him going. Your hatred is one of the fuel that keeps him going. And the more you hate him, the more he continues to see to the fact that Biafra comes. The more you continue to display your hatred, your wickedness and your arrogance, the more you give him reasons to fight on. And I bet you, wherever you are today, as a Biafran, You must have to continue to celebrate Chukwu Okike Abiama for giving us somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa. Continue to celebrate him. He has been chosen for the job. And he accepted. And he's doing the job perfectly well. I can't think of any other person that can do it better than he's doing now. We cannot get anything better than what we have now. So every Biafran must appreciate him. You cannot get anything better than what we have now. I repeat, you can't get anything better. So the earlier you begin to appreciate Mazi Simon Ekpa, the better for you. Your hatred, your propaganda, your blackmail will never ever stop him. It will make him stronger. He was called for this job. In fact, not called, he was born for it. He was born for this job. And he is going to see it through. Your hatred, your blackmail, your propaganda can never ever stop him. And I want every one of you to understand that. As a Biafran, the only thing you have to do today is to play your own role. Make your little contribution. If you have nothing to contribute, shut up and sit down. Just cover your blanket. Pretend as if you're not seeing what is happening. Better. If you realize that you have nothing to offer, just go to sleep. Pretend that nothing is happening. Go to sleep. So when you wake up, we are going to welcome you in Biafra land. And then you will join those who have fought the battle. It is not mandatory that every one of us will fight. There's no law that says that every one of us must participate in the restoration. It is not all of us that have the call for this restoration. Those of us who have the call, we will just have to be in it and make sure it becomes a reality. But if you are not called, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama, just quietly mind your business. Pretend as if you don't know that something like Biafra exists. And if you do so, I bet you, at the end of the day, the result is going to come. And when the result will come, wherever you are being found wanting, you will answer. If you are not found wanting, you will be in Biafra and enjoy it. Nobody is going to deny you your citizenship as a Biafra. The only thing that's going to deny your citizenship as a Biafran is your rejection of your own citizenship. The only people that has a right to stop you is the Biafran court. As long as you obey law and order and do what you're supposed to do, nobody is going to stop you. When Biafra comes, you will pay for everything you have done against Biafra. If you do well, you'll be rewarded. If you do bad, you will equally get your reward. So, it is in your hand to choose for yourself where you belong. Either you choose to serve or you choose not to serve. Nobody's going to force you. Nobody's going to force you. Nobody can force you to serve. You have the right to make your decisions. You decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, and when you want to do it. Nobody's going to force you against your will. But as you all know, there must be a reward for everything you have done against Biafra. The reward must come. You must get your reward. That is why you must keep your hands straight and always be sane. If you choose to go against the will of the people, you are going to pay severely. You will pay severely. But if you do the right thing, I bet you are going to get your reward. You will be rewarded for everything you do. For those of us today who are sacrificing in one way or the other, making sure that the truth is out, making sure that the voice of Biafrans are heard, we are doing it willingly on our own. At the most difficult time, in the most difficult way, we preach that gospel and make sure that our voice is being heard. And we will not stop preaching. No matter what the enemy says, we will not stop preaching. We will continue to preach the gospel. We will continue to speak, whether the enemy likes it or not. We must continue to speak, and we will speak very, very loud. So, Biafrans across the world, every one of us must sit up. Sit up and do what we are supposed to do. Do not be discouraged. The battle is just beginning. If you think about it, it is not over. It is going to get tougher. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And no way to freedom is cheap. The path to freedom is not cheap. It is very, very expensive. And you must be ready to pay the price if you want to be free. If you are not ready to pay the price, you should equally forget about your freedom. And if your freedom doesn't worth your life, forget about it. For those who want to be free, they are ready and ever ready to give their life for their freedom. That is how serious it is. Those who are serious about their freedom can put their life on the line. That is why you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Even in the territory of the enemy, he speaks boldly, fearless. You see Mazi Simon Ekpa. In the face of the whole world, he is stepping on toes. When I talk about stepping on toes, I don't mean individuals, I mean governments. Do you know the people who are putting in place the zoo? Just recently, the new president of Burkina Faso said it, that the people who are making sure that the contraption called Nigeria remains the way it is are the British and France. These are the world powers, with the United States involved. Because of their interests, they are making sure that the enslavement of the people continues. But how long will they continue to do this? How long will we continue to allow this to happen? There is nothing. We must not allow this to continue. We have come a very long way. We have fought huge, huge battles. And we have come to a time where we will not give up. In fact, giving up is not part of the considerations. No sensible person will consider giving up. The only thing that needs to be considered today is fighting ahead. Fighting ahead until we secure freedom. That is the only thing that is required today. If you think that Biafrans are going to surrender their freedom because of your blackmail and your propaganda, think again, because they will not. If you think because of your idiocy that the people who are ready for their freedom will chicken out, think again. fellow Biafrans and amazing people. I thank you all for being with me in this very episode. Please like and share this program to all platforms. Remember, the press release of our Prime Minister today, the press briefing. The Prime Minister is going to have press briefing today, 7 p.m. Biafran time. 7 p.m. So wherever you are, once it's 7 p.m. Biafran time, please grab your phone. Connect so that you can hear directly from our Prime Minister, so that you don't begin to report hearsay. They say, 7 p.m. connect so that you can get the information. You join any platform that belongs to Biafra Republic. I am going to stream it also on Chooks for Survival. Go to Chooks Survival, you're going to find me there. I'm going to stream it when the time comes. And I'll also stream it on Chooks for Survival Facebook. I'm going to stream it there too. You can get it on the platform of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. His X platform, you see it. And every other platform that belongs to Biafra Republic of Nigeria, you are going to see the press briefing there. It's going to be there. So try to connect. If you are in the media, any media of the world, connect so that you can get information from the right source, not a hearsay. First-hand information from our Prime Minister. It is going to come today by 7 p.m. Biafran time. Don't forget that we are preparing for our sit at home 29th, 30th, and 31st. The sit at home is going to take place. So wherever you are in Biafra land, make sure you prepare yourself for the sit at home. It is going to happen, and nothing is going to stop it. So wherever you are, I urge you to please connect to the sit at home so that you'll be part of what is happening. May Chukwu Okike be my guide and protect every one of you that have joined me on this program. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Share. I'm going to be back again next time. Thank you for being part of the program. I love you all, and may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to bless you all. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move airborne. Let's go.